pregame show presented by the Ultimate Sports Show. I am Aaron. I'll be hosting the show this evening alongside Manny. Medina is unable to make it for the pregame show tonight. Here we are back to back. Lakers playing a back to back, so that means we're on back to back. Obviously, they're playing a back to back Manny tonight. Denver Nuggets. We know how good they are. Look, they're 43-21 on the year. They're banged up. We're banged up. The topic of the show today, really, for everybody and for all of us, is what is it going to take for the Lakers today? Get out of this 4-game skid now that we've lost. Manny, what's it going to take for the Lakers to get through this tonight? What do we have to do? And honestly, when you play, we know you love the Joker. How do you stop the Joker tonight from going off on the Lakers?
It's going to be a big test because, in my opinion, I've always said Nikola Jokic is the best center in the NBA. So it's going to be tough. But I believe that if we play some defense, we got AD, Drummond, and Gasol. I don't know if Gasol will play. And Montrezl Harrell. All those guys need to be in the paint at all costs. Because we know that Nikola Jokic is going to drive. He's going to dunk. And don't forget also he can shoot his threes. So it's going to be a big, big test. And we know it's not going to be easy. But one silver lining to this is that they don't have Jamal Murray. So it's going to be a bit of... it's going to be a little bit easier than it should be because the Nuggets, if they're healthy, I would say it's not going to be an easy thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. Obviously, they're playing tonight's lineup for the record. For those that are joining us, welcome as well. We love all the comments.
Facts.
Lakers tonight, it's going to be Kuzma, KCP, Caruso, Davis, and Drummond. For the Nuggets, it's Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, the Joker, PJ Dozier, and Facundo Campazzo, which is probably one of their guards that are substituting for the injured, their injuries. So, it's obviously they're banged up too. Let's get into them as well. They're not gonna have Will Barton either, along with Monte Morris. And you know what? The difference between them right now is that they've both been playing great. In general, their team has been playing great without their guys. Jamal Murray, without him being in the lineup, they have been rolling. They have been, most people looked at the Nuggets, Manny, and said, hey, this team is now beatable. You don't have Jamal Murray in this game. That's not the case tonight.
Oh, absolutely agree with you. I looked at their last 5 games, Aaron, to tell you the truth. They beat the Clippers. Okay, I know the Raptors and the Pelicans aren't, and the Rockets aren't exactly like playoff teams right now, but the fact that they beat the Memphis Grizzlies as well with John Morant, and they beat the Clippers, that's a big, big confidence booster for them because at least, especially that they don't have Jamal Murray, and Nikola Jokic is just that good that by himself he's able to lead that team without no problem. And the fact that there's no Jamal Murray, they haven't nosedived at all in the standings. They've always stayed consistent. The Nuggets, they've always been around the 3 to 4 to the range basically, which is nice. And also shout out to both my old homies from college, Tice and Alex McEwen. I miss you guys. I'm glad that you guys are in the comments, and I'm very excited for this game. I have all the confidence in the world, guys. I know the Lakers haven't been playing very well, and it's been breaking my heart, and it's obviously breaking your heart and Medina's heart. Yeah. But tonight, I guarantee you guys, like how Charles Barkley would say on TNT, I guarantee we are getting the W tonight. I know we don't have LeBron tonight, but It's just going to be such an exciting game because we're going to see Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic head to head, both in my opinion one of, if not the best big men in all of basketball. It is going to be such a big game, and because of that, it's also going to be on ESPN and Spectrum, so it's going to be huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you mentioned also shout out to Chris, man.
Shout out to
You've
Chris.
been in the comments great. We got to get you on the show sometime, man. I mean, this
Absolutely,
is you got great insight as well. And also Tyson and Alex love to get you guys on. Everybody, anybody that's a fan of our show, we'd love
for
to get you
sure.
guys on here. Um, but I'd honestly say, Manny, after last night, look, also we got to mention LeBron will be out, which was no surprise. I don't think I
Hmm.
wasn't surprised when I saw it. I mean, I don't think you were either.
Yeah.
Um, he's out, and their Lakers are playing cautious, and they're playing it cautiously because they don't want anything to happen to LeBron. Look, his ankle, your ankle's going to bother you. Like part of an ankle injury, I get that is, any kind of aggravation or getting used to playing on the court. You're probably going to deal with some soreness because your ankle is reacclimating itself to mostly the side to side. It's not so much the forward. Going forward is fine. It's just anytime you have to turn your body, turn your feet, pivoting, any of that motion is going to cause probably your ankle to have its moment where it tightens up and it gets sore. So I wasn't surprised when I saw that. Also,
Yeah.
obviously, we know Jared Dudley still out as well. There's no expected timetable for him to return. Technically, a lot of day-to-day guys. Marc Gasol, obviously Davis is still day-to-day. Kuzma is in the game. He's still day-to-day. Manny, it's the injuries. The injuries are there. These players are going through it. Like I was even looking at KCP. He's going through a injury for an ankle issue as well.
Hmm.
We just need almost that a game or two or a day or two where nobody has to play. Just tape your injuries up, take care of yourself, take care of your bodies. And unfortunately, that's not the case this year. It does take a toll on teams, and unfortunately, it's been taking a toll on the Lakers this year.
Sadly, it has. We've been banged up all year, and like I mentioned in the post game last night, the reason why is because of the schedule. The fact that like we started way too soon. Like
Yeah,
I know I'm being kind of biased towards like the Lakers. The fact that like we only had like 72 days of rest, but even the teams that were in the playoffs, they had like 80 and 90 games of rest, 90 days of rest, and that's not what you want to see because if you don't have much time to rest, your body is going to be like broken down, and you're going to be pushing yourself way too hard, and then you end up sadly like getting a calf strain, getting a knee strain. Like we know that LeBron's calf strain is still bothering him, and it sucks, but it is what it is, and I'm just confident that we're gonna get back to our winning ways, and we're gonna get off this slump because keep in mind, Laker Nation, we're only 3 games. We only have like a 3 game lead on the 8th seed. So if we go on a bigger slump, it can get very scary. I really don't want this to happen to us, and I'm really hoping that we just avoid the play-in tournament because look, I'm confident that we can win in that play-in tournament, Aaron. But the thing is, it's just I don't want to deal with that added stress. That's the thing.
yeah. Yeah. Also, shout out to Tristan. But dude, I mean, we'd love to get everybody in here. We'd love to have a show where it's dedicated eventually to fans. We love to get your insights on the
Absolutely.
games. We do also a show. Part of our part of the Ultimate Sports Show is around the NBA as well. You will hear more about that possibly later tonight. We're not sure, but obviously Vince. Shout out to Vince as
Shout out to
well.
Vince. Yeah.
Vince, keep doing what you're doing, man. But obviously, it's really unfortunate, And I was talking to actually some coworkers today, and I said, it's not only the Lakers, but also for instance the Dodgers as well for baseball. A lot of honestly the LA teams right now, everybody's been getting banged up. Even baseball, basketball, even hockey, especially. I mean, I think hockey is probably the most damage you're taking to your body easily.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's injuries are just unfortunate. It's a bug that just unfortunately just hits once or it just hits all, and that's what happened on Lakers this year. Obviously, Anthony Davis was first. LeBron, Judd Dudley, Caruso's dealt with back spasms.
Zooms, yeah.
KCP with ankle injuries. Marcus Saul, and now we've had some COVID protocol issues now with Schroeder, and that's twice now. So, you just want to keep this team healthy, and we were talking about it last night too, Manny. We said, look, we in order for this team to win, in order for this team to go deep into the playoffs, they have to be healthy. That's number one. If you're not healthy and you're not all on the court together, having time together and being able to communicate with each other on and off the court, build that chemistry, I just it's hard to see the Lakers get farther in the playoffs when we've been struggling like this. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it happened the same way as the bubble, but different story, completely different standings we were in though.
Yeah, and different surroundings as well, because the bubble, we weren't dealing with the fans. We were away from basically, not us, but like I'm saying, like the players were away from their families, so they were basically stuck at Disney World, like with nobody else but them. So like, because like when we watched the bubble games last year, we heard like a lot of noise, but in reality, the way the players are playing, you heard like dead silence when they were playing. They were just dribbling and stuff. So it was a very, very tough surrounding that they were in. But now the fact that we're kind of getting slowly back to normal. I know in Cali everybody's getting vaccinated. Shout out to you guys, and also shout out to Montreal. The fact that very, very soon we're gonna get vaccinated. But in my opinion, it's gonna be a big battle, and I think we should definitely bounce back. If we don't, it is what it is. But you're right. The injuries is what kills teams, basically. But sadly, that's what happens in sports. So we can't control that. But like I say, it's all because of the fact that, actually, to tell you the truth, Aaron, I kind of blame Adam Silver for this, because he should have made the season start at least like in February. Like, okay, like you want to start it right away the season so we could get back to normal slowly because of the pandemic. But
Yeah.
we should have started at least like middle of February. It would have made a lot more sense, and maybe had like a 40, 50 game season, because it's just too much on the players. A player is getting hurt every single day, not just on the Lakers, but there's so many teams in the NBA and in the NHL and in the MLB they're just like, their bodies are just breaking down because they didn't have much of an off season. Like every team ended their, like, usually on normal circumstances, Aaron, the seasons usually start in October, but we ended everything in October. The finals ended in October. It's just crazy that what the whole pandemic did. But I'm just glad that things are slowly getting back to normal. But I agree with what you said about the fact that the only reason how you have a chance is if you're healthy. Your health always comes first in life, and if you don't have your health, playoffs and winning, it's going to be a very hard thing to overcome.
It's also, Vince, it brought up a great point as well. A lot of people forget too. Back-to-backs take a big toll on your body right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, it's even taking a toll on us. Can't you tell? But I mean, it takes a toll on your back. It takes a toll on everything: your back, your legs, everything. Just the way you prepare for your games. It's a lot to go out there and play. 30 minutes, whatever you'd play, 35 minutes in a game, or even, honestly, even 20 minutes probably feels like forever. But, I definitely will say this team, when it comes to back-to-backs as well, like, look, don't get me wrong, like, if we go back and look at Lakers back-to-back games, they've had, like, in the past, their games that they've had have been brutal, where we've played, like, sub 500 teams. We've had it where we played back-to-back, where we played the worst team in the league along with us, and then the next night it's one of the best teams and a playoff team. So, it's It's unfortunate. I don't like back to backs. I'm always against it. I don't think it's great. I think they should keep reducing the amount of back to backs there are because it's a lot to do. It's a lot for a player to ask for. And honestly, for the Lakers who are already banged up right now, that is least of their problems that they need to deal with is a back to back. They have another one as well coming up.
And with the whole shorten of the whole fact with the fact that there was not much time of an off season, so
Yeah,
that makes the back to backs even worse actually. But yeah, same here. I really can't stand back to backs, but like I said, I blame Adam Silver. But what can we do? I don't know what to do honestly for that because sadly it's all with the NBA. It's all with the NBA Players Association because. But the one thing I actually respect about the NBA is that they always listen to the players.
yeah,
So surprisingly, like if the players are really on board with back to backs, I really don't know why, but like they really should not be because it takes a toll on your body and it risks a lot of injury. And also they like I think coaches in the NBA too should also risk the amount of minutes players play too because
absolutely.
we all remember in 2013 what happened to Kobe. He was playing 40 minutes a night non-stop and then it just tore his Achilles. So obviously, like even though Kobe's my all-time favorite player, I we don't want to see that with any player, obviously, because as much as I love the Lakers, I love the NBA as well too. So if one player gets injured in any team, it's sad to see. I've like Aaron, me and you were watching the Warriors and the Pelicans game before we went live, and we saw Draymond go down. That was obviously a sad thing because he was posting a near triple double.
Yeah, he's it's just you just never like to see injuries. I mean, no matter who you are,
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't care on the court if you don't like somebody like you don't like whoever it may be, whoever's a player you dislike, you would never ever wish to see someone get hurt. You would never wish to see something happen to them because they're in the end of the day you hate them. You don't like them because they're a great player and because they've hurt your team. And don't get me wrong, like Lakers have had those guys. Lakers have had those guys that are pain in the butt defenders. I mean, don't forget, obviously, anytime Kobe Bryant in the past played Memphis as well, the guy named Tony Allen was always on him because he was the only guy who can actually guard him and actually made him have the worst shooting nights of his career against him. So, it's something where teams also like when it comes to this as well, which it's a good and bad situation. And, teams you're gonna still have to come out there. Lakers still have to come out there tonight, against Denver. Again, a beat up Lakers team, I should say the least, has to come out there with no LeBron, no Schroeder. Got to move the ball. Got to get that ball movement going. Got to get that communication on the offensive and defensive end in order to win this game. Is they're not Denver is not going to take us lightly at all. That is taking a team lightly is never going to be heard of, and nobody will ever do that because they expect you to say, "Look, this is still a game right now. It's not our fault that you have injuries. It's not your fault that happened, and you just got to play."
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you mentioned that the ball movement is going to be a little tougher because of no shooter and no LeBron. But
Yeah,
I expect the fact that the Caruso is finally back. He's finally playing. That's good news. So we're gonna have a bit of ball movement from Caruso. We know he orchestrates the offense and defense very very well, and he's a player that makes a big impact always on the court. But you just don't see it much on the stats. That's the thing. And we're also gonna have like KCP. We've seen him run with the ball a few times. We've seen him shoot threes. He's going to be very exciting to watch as well. THT has actually been, I'm not going to say totally consistent, but he's been one of our main consistent guys this year. Like I'm yet to see like a horrible game this year from THT. So like he's going to be moving the ball very well. And surprisingly, might call me crazy here, but I say Kuzma too plays pretty well with the ball. Like if like I'm saying when there's no LeBron or no AD, like he's able to generate the offense very well when he's handling the ball, and his passing is very underrated as well as Marcus Gasol. I know Marcus Gasol's a big man, but even he can be a very good floor generator. We've seen it a few times with him. Technical difficulties.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
My fault. If obviously shout out to Matthew as well,
Shout out to Matthew.
audio video engineer for our show.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lakers don't win tonight, there's a chance that the chances of making the playoffs are slim. He's not wrong.
He
He's
is
not
right.
wrong. Everybody knows that. Their chances, the chances of them right now, the way they're going with things, it's a hit or miss right now. If they care about the way I see this, Manny, is if they care about winning, if they care about being in the playoffs, they gotta win these next few games. I'm sorry, they cannot. I was looking at their schedule too while you were talking. They literally cannot lose any of these games right now to absolutely secure their spot in the playoffs. They put themselves there.
Abso-freaking-lutely. You hit it right there, spot on, Aaron, because I mean, you could say like the schedule, there's some good teams, there's some bad teams, but I'm going through the schedule myself. We have Denver tonight, the Clippers on Thursday, Portland on Friday, and Phoenix on Sunday. Those are all must-win games, especially the Portland. And I'm going to talk a bit about the Portland game too, because the Portland is right there in the play-in tournament as well with us. They're like in that 5, 6, 7 range as well. So that's, like, in my opinion, the most important out of all of them. And if we win that game, we can definitely jump up to the 5 seed and possibly hold on to the 5 seed, because I don't want to go down a little more. Personally, I see the Clippers at the 4 seed. I want the Clippers in the playoffs because of like, of like the media always talking about them, and I want that smoke. I'm not scared of any matchup. I want to say, like, bring it on. And obviously here in the Ultimate Sports Show, we respect all teams. We don't really like show hatred to any team, but I want to see Lakers Clippers just because of the media. It's not because of the fans. It's not because of the team. It's because of the media. I want to see them play us, and I want to see if they're gonna keep talking or if they're gonna stop talking, basically.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, here, we're obviously gonna show, what the current standings are as well. That's where Lakers currently sit right now. They're the standings right now. This is as accurate as it can be.
Yep.
And the Lakers just put themselves there. It's not something. There's such a slim right now when it comes to 6th, 7th, and 8th seed and 9th seed technically, because the Warriors are climbing up too a little bit. They're trying to get in the playoffs as well. They have a very good chance as well, and that's something where the Lakers just got to look at this and say, look, we got to come out here and beat Denver. We have to beat Denver. We have to beat the Clippers. We have to beat Portland, because look who's chasing us right off the bat. Portland is right below us, and you better believe if we don't take care of business tonight, if we don't take care of business the rest of the time, they're going to come after us, and there's a good chance the Lakers drop to the 7th spot, which is not what you want, and it could get worse.
Absolutely, without a doubt. That's exactly what I mentioned. It's if we lose to Portland, in my opinion, as much as I love the Lakers, I have to be realistic here. It's panic time in Los Angeles if we lose to the Portland Trailblazers, because that's gonna definitely like secure our position in the play-in tournament. But honestly, I want to talk a bit about Braun's comments from last night, what he said about the play-in tournament, and I 100% agree with him. Is the NBA trying to ruin the sport or something by adding this thing? Like, why couldn't they keep it 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5? Like, why are 9 seeds and 10? I'm okay with the 7, 8 seed battling out because that's the normal playoff format. But a 9 and 10 seed battling out, Aaron, it doesn't make any sense. Like, those 9 and 10 seeds do not deserve to make the playoffs. I don't want to be disrespectful here, but 9 and 10 seeds do not deserve to make the playoffs. So those seeds deserve to fight for the lottery. They don't deserve to make the playoffs. If you're below the 8 seed, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. In my opinion, it's 1 to 8, and that's it. I don't agree with the play-in tournament. I hope it's just like a one-time thing because of COVID. But like if they bring that back next year, I'm not going to be very happy.
Yeah, we'd be curious also to know what's your guys' what do you guys think of the whole play-in tournament? Do you think it's going to be around? Do you think it should be around? Definitely want your opinions on it. Feel free to put them
Same
in.
here.
But I mean, Manny, I'll speak on this too. It's kind of interesting because I don't know if you saw the article too. LeBron actually last year, which is kind of interesting. When they asked him, when they said, "Hey, this is what I love to see. I'd love to see like a play-in tournament. I'd love to see some kind of tournament that they had." So I saw that, and then all of a sudden you hear him say, I don't, this is ridiculous. Basically, it's
Exactly.
ridiculous, and so on and so forth, and yeah. So he was mad about it, um, but it's also, I think also part of the reason he's mad is because he knows there's a chance right now the Lakers get stuck playing in the play-in tournament. There is a good, I would
Very
say,
chance.
I would, if someone asked me that, if someone told me this like 2 months ago, I would have thought you're crazy, absolutely crazy, lost your mind. But it's real. It's 100% real, and that's as real as we got to get. Um, they're very on the verge. They're getting on the verge of it, and that's what Matthew was saying. Their chances of making the playoffs, or chances of making the playoffs, could be high. But I mean, you have to play in a play-in tournament. Winner of that seed will take on that team. Then you get into the playoffs. You get into round one. You technically already played a game. You already have another game, so you lost out. Lakers would lose out on more rest that they could have had because they put themselves in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. There's no one to blame but the Lakers. Like, I don't care that we had LeBron and AD out. Our role players should have stepped it up instead of
Yeah,
playing 500 basketball. I mean, look, like obviously a role playing team is obviously not a contending team, but we could have done our best. There was a lot of like bad losses that I think we should have won. Like I
yeah,
know like LeBron and AD are both back. Well, not tonight obviously, but I'm saying like in general the past few games, we shouldn't have lost Sacramento. We shouldn't have lost to Toronto. Those two, in my opinion, the reason why Laker Nation I was so heated last night in the post game is because those two losses, in my opinion, were the worst losses of the season. I'm not saying because we got blown out or because it was close. I'm saying because now is when the season actually counts. The last 10 games is when the season counts, and this time around the season shows if you're gonna clinch the playoffs or if you're gonna be eliminated from the playoffs, and
yeah.
that's why those two losses really grinded my gears. And if we lose tonight, better believe I'm going to be the exact same on post game. I'm going to be pretty heated the same. I'm going to be, well, I mean, I won't be as heated as the last two because this time we will be losing to an actually good team. But the other two, Sacramento and Toronto, like, please, those two are in the lottery. Not being disrespectful to those teams whatsoever, but I'm just saying I feel like we're a lot better than those two teams and we shouldn't have taken two L's. Like, that was absolutely, like obnoxious that we lost those games.
It is. So let's get into the night. Obviously, let's go into our keys to the game. So, you know, Manny, the Lakers got to get it done tonight. They have to. It is a must to win the rest of the season. They have to win. They have to win the rest of their games. They
Exactly.
have to take care of business. There's no screwing around. You got to get it done. How do they get it done? What do they have to do tonight, Manny? What's the key? What are they going to get this done? How are they going to get this win? And hopefully just get a winning streak going here because desperately this team needs it.
100% facts right there. My key to the game is pretty simple. Like containing Nikola Jokic. If we don't contain this guy, because this guy's a monster on the court, if we don't contain him, we're easily taking a big L tonight because we won't have like the leadership of LeBron with us playing. Like I know AD can take on a leadership role because he's a really good player, but the fact that we have AD and LeBron together, that makes us more of a complete team. And when one of them are gone, it's going to be a very hard thing to do without one of them. And with Jokic, we know he's going to shoot his threes because Jokic can shoot his threes as well. So we're going to have to really like guard the 3 point line as well. We're going to have to guard the paint as well because we know he's also going to go and drive and dunk as well because yes, I know Jokic is a big guy, but even another thing that's very underrated about his game is his passing. He's a center, and he can easily get you triple doubles every night. I believe like a few years ago, I think he still has the record for the fastest triple double in NBA history, if I'm not mistaken. So we really need to stand guard, and we need to like really contain Nikola Jokic, or else tonight is going to be a horrible loss once again.
Yeah. It will be terrible if they lose this game. They can't afford to. My keys to the game is simple. I need the offense and the defense to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides. I'm keeping it real here. You got to wake up. Both sides of the ball, offensively, offense to defense, defense to offense, transition basketball, getting your defensive sets. I want to see. You got to be switching. If you're not going to switch, then play some zone defense. Lakers are very capable of playing that. You got to make adjustments. I will trust Vogel. I know people are getting shaky with him, but you know what? It's
Including
the
me.
team. It's the team that's put him there. It's not Vogel that's necessarily been doing it. It's the team that put him in the spot right now because they're not playing hard right now. They've kept their foot off the gas, and that's what's honestly been causing them to play. It's honestly been helping. Causing them to play this bad, and just having some rough stretches. Who do you got for your players to watch tonight, Manny? Who are you going with?
I'm gonna change it up for tonight. Actually, tonight, I know he's been on a slump, but last night he played very well. I'm gonna go with Kyle Kuzma. I know he hasn't shoot very well the past few games, but last night he really showed up with 24 points and 3 rebounds, and even had 2 blocks. Kuzma, his defense has gotten so much better the past few years. Like I remember when he first got in this league, his defense was very shaky, but this year his defense is really showing up, and last year's defense too is really showing up. And he's got 2 blocks. Actually, the past 3 games that we played, he had 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and 2 blocks. So I'm predicting Kuzma is going to have a solid 20 and 11 game. But I'm going to go with 4 blocks, actually, because I think he's really capable of doing it.
Okay. Okay. Look at you. Hey, we're thinking high here. I got to go with it. Medina, don't kill me for this. I got to go with Anthony Davis tonight.
And you're
I'm
going with
switching it
AD.
up too. I need double digit points. I need rebounds. I need blocks. I need everything. We need to make Jokic's night a living nightmare tonight. You were saying contain him. We've literally got to be pit bull style defense on him. They made things difficult last year in the bubble. Obviously, different groups. So hey, you never know. Davis and Marcus all could show up tonight and really just contain him. And if we get to that, then hey, I think that the Lakers really have a legitimate shot to win the game. But defense has got to be important. Um, Final thoughts going into this game?
Final thoughts is we really need to step up. We got to stop our 6 losses out of 7 losing skid, and we need to contain Nikola Jokic. If we do all those things, I have all the confidence in the world. I think we can pull off an upset. But if we do not contain Nikola Jokic, like last night, I said contain Pascal Siakam, and we did not do that, and that's why it resulted in a loss. Tonight, it will result in a loss once again if we don't contain Nikola Jokic, because without Jamal Murray, he's going to have a lot more pressure on his hands, and he's going to be playing I know he's a big man in the center, but he's going to be playing a lot like a point guard without Jamal Murray, because he's going to be dishing out the passes. We know he's going to be dishing out he's going to be getting the rebounds, and we know he's going to be scoring in the 20s and in the 30s. So that's basically my final thoughts. What about you, Aaron?
My final thoughts in this game is you just gotta play hard tonight. I'm keeping it real too as well. Is
Facts.
just play hard, and just give your team some hope tonight. Because you can't keep setting your foot in this bad slump. It's like stepping in a pile of mud, and there's mud everywhere.
Yup.
And that's what it kind of feels like. It's just muddy mess right now that the Lakers have been playing. You just got to get your foot out of there, start cleaning this mud off, and play better. They're very capable of doing it. We have a great bench. We have a great team. You just got to get healthy and play some good basketball, and I think we can get this dub tonight. That's going to do it for us tonight for Lakers Live pregame show. Please stay tuned after the game, postgame show, and possibly around the NBA. We'll see how things go. For Manny, Medina, and myself, I'm Aaron. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the game. Go Lakers.
Peace.